Hello everyone and welcome to Harv's World for episode 20 of the Pacific Northwest. Here we are on the farm. It's late in the day. And I had to start up late in the day for a change because we've got a milk issue we have to deal with. But first, I need to address an order of business. The channel's actually been growing quite nicely over the last few days. Picked up several new subscribers and I want to thank them directly with a little shout out. We have Donald Barnett, Terry Creed, Devin Dudley, Murphy's Glove, and a special thank you to Matthew Erkey, or Irk, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I'll bet he tells me, because I've been talking with Matthew quite a bit on Discord, and he's offered some great support and great ideas for the channel. So thanks, Matthew. You all are always welcome to join the Discord channel. It is in the information down below. Feel free to drop in anytime. If I'm around, I'll be happy to chat with you. So, as I was saying, we have a little bit of a milk issue to deal with, and we've got our sunflowers coming up nicely. You can see this field is really getting close to being ready to harvest. We're just kind of waiting for it to dry at this point. Our other fields aren't quite so ready, and you can see that the field we've been using for silage and corn, or for corn to make silage, I actually just went ahead and planted that in sunflowers too. We're going to have a lot of sunflowers to harvest. Well, let's take a look at our new silage silo. Now, one thing about this, with the bunker silo, we would be done fermenting everything. It's been about 24 hours since we put our stuff in. So right now we've got almost 200,000 liters of silage, but there's still more than half of that left to ferment. So it is a bit slower, but again, we've got all the silage we need. In fact, I could start shipping this down to the biogas plant right now. That's not even an issue. And it does save us the hassle of having to compact it and all that. Now, let me go ahead and get this horse back to the pasture. And he really knows how to move when he needs to, as all the horses do. Got a few other things I want to show you, but first we need to take care of that milk. And I'll show you why here just as soon as I put this horse away. Jump. There we go. Okay. Assuming I can get out of here. Our TMR mixer is working wonderfully. In fact, we got about another 37,000 liters we can feed our cattle. And the cows are doing quite well also. They have plenty of feed, even though it's still red. They're not going to run out anytime soon. But man, we just can't make it fast enough to make much of a dent in there. Now, I did sell 4 horses earlier today. Brought in a couple $100,000. And with that couple $100,000, I purchased this section of land here that holds fields 23 and 24. So that goal is accomplished. We now own the whole ridge here looking down into the valley. Really wanted to accomplish that, and that's done. And the next thing I wanted to show you was that milk prices finally went up to a great sale price. We're at almost $2,900. And we've got about 170,000 liters of milk. So the first order of the day is getting our milk to the dairy station. We need to get that sold off ASAP. Nice thing is the dairy station is up here on the bench. We don't have to go down into the valley, and we can pretty much access it from our own land. I mean, not directly, but there's a straight shot. I'm going to cut right back through here. It's going to go right right in behind our new big storage shed. I don't know if you noticed when I was putting in the shed, but I turned this area here into a gravel parking lot for trailers and such. I think I've mentioned this before. I still don't understand why people buy these massive sheds just to park their trailers inside. You'll never see that in the real world. Um, and so I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it at all. Trailers get their own parking lot for sure, but it's not going to be indoors. No way. So yeah, right here's the dairy station. I mean, could it be any closer? And this should be the milk sale point. Yes, it is. Let's see what, because we've got about almost 2 more trailer loads of this. This is a 60,000 liter trailer. And it doesn't exactly empty slowly. You can hear the milk flowing in, but I don't see it coming out anywhere. That's okay. $60,000 should net 172. Outstanding. And this is why we hold on to things like milk and don't sell them right away, because waiting for the right price will make you a lot more money. Our milk sale total today was $470,263, so almost $500,000 in milk. We're up to almost $600,000, and that's even after selling the horses for $200,000, buying 4 new horses, and then buying that piece of land that was just shy of $200,000. So we are sitting pretty. And now I can pull right down here and show you my maintenance and wash solutions. So instead of locking down a building, being forced to take up space with the building, what I've done is I have got a mobile wash station, fabulous, and a mobile repair station. Now with the mobile repair station, you have to open it up to activate it, and you need to come back up front and fire up the fuel pump. This holds about almost 2,000 liters of diesel, so you can refuel your tractors in the field or other equipment. And when you're here next to it, what is going on? Don't need to enter the vehicle. There we go. I was just standing in the wrong place. So from here I can repair this truck. I can even go in and customize it if I want to, change the wheels, give it a front hitch, things like that. I did not want to switch. Apparently one thing that you can't do, actually let me hold that thought, because I need to check something first before I speak. And yes, and you can even tab through so we can repair our trailer as well. Now, this truck also needs fuel. Fuel is on the other side of the mobile station. And I want to be sure that I'm not fueling the or refilling the trailer. Yeah, okay, so I can fill the truck diesel right here. You can see the fuel is going up. And boom, that's all there is to it. So our mobile station has worked fabulously. Then we'll come right back around here and Might as well give it a wash. Grab the wand, it fires itself up automatically, and this has a really long hose on it, or yeah, really long hose on it too, so that's nice, although this trailer doesn't appear to be getting dirty for whatever reason. But yeah, we can just get this all washed off here. And there we go. I'm just going to leave that there for a minute because I want you guys to take a look at something. So first, you see our big case Magnum. Beautiful beast of a tractor. I love that tractor. And we've got the big Fendt. The big Fendt 1050 Vario. Love that tractor too, both of them. These are my two favorite tractors. I want you to keep both of these in mind because I'm going to be asking you about them here in just a little bit. And I'm even going to show you the stats on them just so you know exactly what we're talking about. The case has 451 horsepower and has 4.3 hours on it. The Fendt is 517 horsepower, so it's quite a bit more powerful, but it's had 23 hours basically on it. So keep these two beauties in mind because I'm going to be asking you about them later, and it's important. It's important, and I do need your feedback. So I'm going to put away the service trailer, turn off the fuel pump. Let's get this truck put away. And then I have one goal I'd like to try to get done today, and then I think what we're going to do is get through the night, and then we're going to start back in the morning, which we haven't done before. We haven't crossed over days. It's always been a day, pretty much a day per episode. So we will see exactly how that plays out. But for now, what I want to do is look at our Forestry Machines, and I'm going to rent the Trex 600 lease, I guess, if you want to be really technical about it. But I've got some trees that I want out of the way, and this is less than $10,000. I don't want to deal with the forestry of it. I just want them gone, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. I'm going to go grab this thing from the store, and we're going to get to work. I'll see you in just a minute. Alright, so I'm just about where I want to be here. If you've not seen the Lizard Trex 600, or T-Rex if you want to call it that, this thing is the ultimate forestry machine as long as you're not looking to make any money. So we're going to fire this thing up, and this tree is really in a bad position. I've wanted to get rid of it for a while. And these types of trees in particular are really unwieldy when it comes to trying to get rid of them. So the Trex takes out the whole thing and grinds the stump out for you too. That's the T-Rex, or Trex. We'll call it T-Rex. I like T-Rex better. That's what the T-Rex does for you. It erases trees, and actually I don't want to do well, actually yes I do, just not very many of them. I'm just going to trim them back from the edge of the field a little bit. I think just a couple. Come on, T-Rex, there you go. Helpers tend to get hung up on trees if they're too close to the field. So I'm just going to knock out a couple of these real quick, but there's kind of a whole grove over there that I'd like to see gone, because these 2 new fields that we just acquired are going to become 1 field. We're just going to do that right out of the gate. No fooling around. No fooling around whatsoever. That is just such a fabulous view, and that's the reason I wanted to own this whole ridge line, because the view is amazing. I don't know, doesn't seem like a silly reason to me, but you may think otherwise. And that's just fine. Alright, so let me get these trees knocked out and I'll see you in just a minute. This is the last tree that needs to come out. You can see this T-Rex is just chewing them up and spitting them out. There we go, all gone. Now, what I need to do is, oops. I don't want to send this thing back just yet. I'm going to hang on to it for a little bit. Oh, when you look at that, we have got a field of... yeah, those things with the big heads on top. We got a field of sunflowers here ready to harvest. Outstanding. So, let me go grab, and I had this, was it here? No, it's here. Yep. Let me go grab the little case. And I've already got our cultivator, or our subsoiler attached to it. And we should be able to use this to bring these 2 fields together. But I want to hang on to the T-Rex because there might be little pieces of stumps left over or something like that, so okay. I want to start on this side first. Over here. Yep. Oh, and I know what I was... do I need to? Yeah, let me do that. Okay, I'm going to do just a little bit of landscaping, because I want to make sure that there aren't any odd spots here that need extra attention. You know, that are going to get skipped if when you're coming across it with a plow or a planter or a seeder. So I'm just going to use the smooth function on this area that I'm going to be attaching together. Because sometimes when you do this, you know, and then you come over it later, you find out that there was a dip that you couldn't normally see or something along those lines. So just smoothing it out a little bit should help prevent that from happening, especially along the field edges. And then we're going to be coming all the way through here, so let's just be 100% sure. Alright, that'll do. So I should be able to tell this cultivator to create fields. Try to line up right here on the edge. It looks pretty good. I'm going to drop it down. And is it working? Yes, it is. Outstanding. And I'm trying to keep about the same distance from the road as the field behind me was. That seems like a pretty decent edge to leave behind. just going to make this a nice sweep around, nice curved edge right through there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so we'll pick this up. Swing this right back around over here. And this one, I almost think... I'm going to have to pretty much run a straight edge, just a straight line across. Let's see. Let's try from right about here. I'm going to try to connect this right in to that existing field over there. Yeah, that's good. I like it. I like it. That works. Alright, let me go get this all plowed in, and I think we'll do a time lapse on this one. So we'll see you here in just a second. And there we have it. We have got our fields joined. This could almost end up being our biggest field now. Let's take a look and see. Oh, look how big that is. That's pretty massive. And now, of course, you know, we need to put lime at least on part of it. Actually, that's not lime. Yeah, we still need lime on some of it. Some of it's been fertilized because when I bought this field, there were sugar beets in field 23, and so I plowed those under. So we probably have about 11 acres in this field, and yeah, we are looking good. There weren't any tree stumps left, so I'm going to go ahead and get the T-Rex back to the shop. Now what do we put in this field? Actually, we are really low on straw. And so it's got to be something that produces straw, which means it's either going to be wheat, barley, or oats. We've got plenty of oats to feed the horses. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't use oats. We'll see. Oh, this field has grown up too. Look at those. I can't tell. Is it sunflowers or is it canola that is the prettiest crop in the game? Either one. They have both just been rendered fabulously by Giants. I think they're my favorites. Right when they're at their final growth stage. Just outstanding. And now that we have a service trailer, I can come right in and service this stuff up before I put it away. If I can remember how, we're going to open that. Lights come on. And yep, there we go. Yep, so I can repair the tractor. I can repair the cultivator or the subsoiler, and we're good. So what am I doing next? It's almost 5 o'clock. Yeah, let's get some lime in that field at least. I want to get lime in that field. Actually, no, I don't. What I want to do is get that field fertilized first. I want to make sure it's got fertilizer on all of it. That means I'm going to need one of the big boys. I haven't used the big Fent in quite some time. Got the new case, and that's all I've been driving, just because it's been so much fun. But I am gonna break out the Fent. This was my first love. I've used this tractor so many times in other playthroughs. But man, when that case came out and I saw it, I was like, oh, wow, I gotta have it. But fear not, Fent fans. I am still the consummate Fent aficionado. And looks like we're gonna need to. Uh-oh. Oh, you're really gonna be a pain in my butt today, huh? This is what I get for pulling it in straight. Honestly. Okay. Let's see, what can we do? We can try to hook up crooked and then maybe it'll twist it. No, it's going to be finicky. I really don't need you to... Is there a way to lock those tires? Let's see. Doesn't look like it. Or I guess they're not tires, they're treads, but you know what I mean. Okay, I just had to tease it a little bit. There we go. Man, that was more trouble than it should have been, but we got her there eventually. Alright, so who remembers why I'm going to fertilize before I put down the lime? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? We're going to put the fertilizer down first because when I put the lime down, it's going to change the field state, which means I will be able to get a new batch of fertilizer down very quickly without having to wait for the crop to start growing, which isn't necessarily realistic, but this is Farming Simulator. We can be as realistic or non-realistic as we want. I could fake it and say, this is what we're doing because in the real world, this is the way it would have to be, and we're trying to make this as realistic as possible. And while I am teasing just the smallest bit, I completely get the guys who want to play that way, and that's great. If that's your bag, far be it from me. I surely don't want other people judging me, so I'm not going to judge other people in that regard, but at the same time, I just don't feel the need to be ultra realistic. There are certain aspects of realism I will cling to, but today, on this map, not so much. I'm going to turn this on, drop it down, and it's going to start slurrying. Kind of wondering if I shouldn't have put a weight on the front of this tractor. The slurry texture on the field, though, is pretty darn cool, I have to admit. It's one of the more unique textures. You know, you get used to seeing the cultivated dirt, you get used to seeing the plowed dirt, but I don't think, like, slurry or manure are things that people use as much. And I understand why, because it's hard to get enough slurry or enough manure to make it a viable fertilizer option all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it just takes so much. I mean, we're getting through a small portion of this field, and we've used half of our load of slurry already. You know, 20,000 liters, that's a lot. I mean, if we had to do that in liquid or dry fertilizer, that would cost us a fortune. Now obviously, you know, the purpose of slurry or manure is to avoid paying those high costs, but at the same time, you're using, you know, what is effectively 4 times as much. I don't know. And, you know, you have to think, well, if I'm using 4 times as much, is it even worth messing around with? Again, you know, I don't have the answer to that question. It's fun to do it this way, though. You know, it breaks up the monotony, it makes it different. And I think that's kind of what's important a lot of the times, is just the game is fun no matter what you're doing. That's, you know, I will argue that all day long. It's a blast to play. I have no complaints in any way, shape, or form. But you do have to find ways to do new things, to keep the gameplay interesting, things like that. So and I have always, you know, I've really enjoyed the horse pack since it came out, but I haven't had an opportunity to use a lot of it. So, you know, having this opportunity to take advantage of it a little bit more has been pretty cool too. Yeah, and not getting hung up on fences. You know, you can learn all kinds of new skills, like how not to get your slurry spreader hung up on a fence. That can be an important skill. Trust me, I'm learning that right now as we speak. Where are we at on the... Oh, this is allowing me to double fertilize this other section already, so... Well, we might just have to cover everything. Then at least part of it will be completely fertilized, and it looks like it's going to take a couple of trips. So let me go ahead and get the slurry down. You've seen this enough in the last few episodes. I will get this done, and I will get right back with you. What I'll probably do is finish this slurrying, and then call it a day, and I will see you first thing in the morning. Alright, so it's the next morning, and I want to take a look here real quick. I think our barley looks ready to harvest. Good deal. So I'm going to get a worker on this barley field, and actually two workers, because I'm going to have a worker following to collect straw. There we go. And then I have got, it looks like everything's ready to harvest. Outstanding. I have got these vehicles set up over here, ready to start hitting the sunflowers hard. And let's see here, I want the leader to a right offset. We're going to try 8 to start with, and I want to be ahead by 10. Let's try that. Put the pipe out. That's pretty good. We have got a lot of sunflowers to harvest. Lots of sunflowers. Three fields. This field, what is this field number? Field 21, field 20, and the annex. And field 10 is barley that's coming off the field, which I really planted just for straw. Now our new fields over here, 23 and 24, that are now joined together, I've got them ready to plant, ready to put seed in. The slurry is down on all of them, and I also went ahead and limed. Now I limed the whole thing, even though it was only calling for, you know, that one section where we joined them. I always lime the whole thing, and I'll tell you why. Because if you don't, you're going to end up with a situation where this part needs lime, this part doesn't. And then, you know, a couple harvests down the road, this part needs lime and this part doesn't. So whenever it calls for lime on a portion, I always just do it all to get it all on the same schedule, whether it needs it or not. That's up to you, however you want to do it. If you want to lime partially here and there, if you don't use lime at all, I get that too. Some people don't. Some people don't do the periodic plowing option either. That's the great thing about this game. It does provide you with options, you know. It lets you decide what's fun and what isn't. If having to go in and plow once in a while doesn't make your game enjoyable, well, then it doesn't make your game enjoyable, and it is what it is. Play your own way. I think I'm going to kick this offset out just a little bit more. Yeah, leave that there, that's better. And since we have so much sunflower to harvest here, I am going to time-lapse this like crazy, and I will see you on the other side. Right, that's going to wrap up the sunflower harvest. Sunflower and barley both came off the fields. Our fields are now completely empty. And getting hung up there a little bit. Gonna bring this in and get it repaired up before I park it in the shed, but the big case is in the way. Come on now. There we go. Takes some getting used to. Yeah, we might as well wash it too, right? We got the power washer for a reason. Put everything away squeaky clean. Gonna go unload the sunflowers. And then I've got a big question for you. A really big question. Stick with me for just a few more minutes and we will get to that. Loving this big shed though, and I can get all the stuff in here with room to spare. bend my pipe. Didn't really have a good estimate of how much sunflower we had. I think it was about 80,000 liters. And the barley off of field 10, which is a relatively small field compared to some of the bigger ones we have now, still brought in about 39,000 liters and well over 100,000 liters of straw. And we needed the straw. We were completely out. There was nothing left. We've got to have straw to make sure our cows can poop properly. Alright, we're going to get the big fent back over there. We're going to get it repaired up. We're going to go washed off. And then the big question is coming. And, yeah, I'm interested to see what kind of, if any, response comes from this, but we'll see. We will see. Top off the fuel too. That's got a big tank in it. That took a long time to fill up. And we're going to wash this up too, because no sense in leaving it dirty. Haven't been the best about washing up the equipment, so I need to start getting a handle on that. There we go. Okay, here it comes. Big question. Pick one. The big fent at over 500 horsepower or the beastly case at about 450 horsepower. And the reason I'm asking you to pick one is this is the final episode of the Pacific Northwest. Makes me a little bit sad to say that, but I think it's time to move on to a new adventure. This has been a great map. I've had fun. As you all probably know by now, this was my first experience with doing videos, let's plays, anything of any kind, and if you've watched from the beginning, you've seen how this progressed. To go back and look at the first few episodes, they're pretty sloppy. I'm not perfect now, but I've learned a lot in being here, and anybody who's stuck through up to this point, I genuinely appreciate you coming along for the ride, bearing with me, and you know, watching me go through this learning process too. We've done a lot together here and accomplished a lot, and you know, it's time to move on to a new idea, a new place, and I want to take, you know, I'm going to kind of have a running theme of taking a piece of equipment with me, and you all get to decide what piece of equipment that is. And whatever you decide today, I think is going to stick with me throughout all of it. So, the last thing I want to do here, I want to just do a quick flyover. Let's take a look at what we've got, because we have done so much. Just to take a look, just to remember everything we've accomplished. The big grass field, the new field that we picked up, moving the silo, and the horses. The horses have done us so well. And all of these fields over here now. Our old bunker silos, the new silage fermenting silo there. All of the equipment we've picked up along the way. Some of it's been great, some of it hasn't worked out so well. And then one of the big goals that we were after was getting our cows in. And man, have those cows done well. They have done great. And you know, I'll probably revisit this from time to time. I'll come back. I don't know if I would necessarily want to video it. Maybe I will, you know, come back and just do an overview, play a little bit on it, maybe let everybody see how things have gone. But yeah, this is it. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your perspective, I guess, can be a good thing or bad. So let me know in the comments down below which of those two tractors I should be taking with me on my next adventure. It will be coming soon. You'll find out what it is. Keep track of the channel if you're not watching the Off the Grid series. That's been a lot of fun, and I do recommend it. It's doing well. Again, thank you all so much for going on this adventure with me. It's been a blast. I've had a lot of fun, and I've wanted to pull my hair out many times. So, you know, I can't complain. And now I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the pickup truck I rolled into Idaho with. We're going to head on out of town. Now some of you might be wondering why I've called this series Born in Idaho, and I'll tell you why. A little bit of personal insight into who I am. I moved out to Idaho about 15 years ago, and I was there for just over 12, maybe 13 years. And while I was there, I went through a great deal. Lost my parents, and I felt like, I don't know, I think maybe we all feel like this from time to time, but you know, I kind of felt a little bit lost. And while I was there, I feel like to some degree I found myself, found out who I was and who I wanted to be. And so by the time I left Idaho, I used to tell people that I was birthed in the Midwest, but I was born in Idaho, because that's where I really figured out who I was. So that's why this series has been called Born in Idaho. And one of the reasons I wanted to play this map first was because I do miss Idaho, and at some point I'd probably like to go back, at least for a visit. Well, I know I'd like to go back for a visit, but I'm no longer there now. I'm back in the Midwest again. And anyway, that's the story of Born in Idaho. So at this point, I appreciate you all coming along for the ride. Look forward to the next Let's Play series coming up very soon. And until next time, take care.